So moving on, ladies and gentlemen, and before that, now I can make the announcement for the mine tour. The bus for the mine tour leaves tomorrow at 11 a.m. in the front of the hotel. And Clément, are you in the room? Can you stand up, please? Clément Sabaghi. He's the one taking you. He's very easy to recognize from afar because he has, like me, a cabochon polish. So it's quite easy. And Clément, he will be there to help you out. So thank you very much, Clément. Moving to our next speaker, Gianluca Maina. Parla italiano? Io non parlo italiano così. So he's in Italian. He's marketing director of Fura Gems. But let me just make a comment on the name. In Portuguese, Fura Gems stands for Fura Gemas. It's not drilling gems because direct translation stands for drilling gems. It is a mining company, and Fura is actually a Colombian mythical, very strongly culturally name in Colombia. Gianluca has worked in many industries, including in the jewelry industry for brands like the Grisogono, Harry Winston, also in the Worldwide Fund for Nature and the NBA in basketball. So he's really experienced in marketing. Gianluca, the floor is yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Piacere.
Thanks a lot. Thank you, everybody, for giving me this opportunity to speak just 15 minutes. I'm going to take you through some of the concepts that we have already seen. And I have to admit that speaking after Hell is not going to be an easy task. So I'm not going to walk around and I'll try not to read too much. But basically, I want to talk to you again about this competition or situation between aspiration in jewelry and expectation. And I'm going to talk weird from a miner about the jewelry consumers as well, because as said, we have this unique opportunity as a mining company to actually set the first step into what will become a unique storytelling and a unique story for the end consumer. So I would like to start with this nice ad from Harry Winston. And basically, you all remember probably the time where to sell jewelry, it was enough to have, of course, a beautiful piece, a drawing, and that would immediately resonate in customers' people with luxury, with inspiration, with glamour. And actually, if you read, I don't know if you can, but on the bottom of the ad, there is a phrase that says that the jewelry piece bears the Harry Winston mark. So that was the synonym of trust. It was enough to say it bears the mark Harry Winston, and everybody would trust that. Today, given the new consumers that we have, that's going to be a little bit more difficult, and probably you would have to add a few marks additionally to prove the origin, to prove that it has been responsibly produced, that the stones are responsibly mined, and probably that's not even enough. So we, as a mining company, have this amazing chance to help brands build loyalty with their customers. And to build loyalty with their customers, there's only one thing: trust. And to build trust, you need to use transparency. So it's a very simple equation, but it's fundamental. Without transparency, there's no trust. And without trust, there's no loyalty. As we said yesterday, customers, luxury buyers are smarter. So we said that they know they have access to a lot of information. They're not necessarily as educated as we wish, but they're also louder, and they have the possibility to talk on social media, particularly, to interact between them, and they can build or destroy brand reputations very easily. So we need to consider this important element, and even us at the beginning of the supply chain need to be very aware of that. Authenticity is taking slightly over opulence, or to say it differently, opulence is not enough. You need authenticity. Customers, they want to know about sourcing, authenticity, ESG informations, and even if they may not be able to read that and to understand that, they want to know, they're going to talk about carbon emissions. We see that. They're going to talk about water consumptions. So we need to integrate that. And finally, these informed buyers will shape the brand reputation, because if they are happy, if they are confident, they will basically contribute to build that brand reputation or destroy it. So we see that traceability as a very important strategic role. It matters a lot. And what we use at Furagems to basically idealize our work is this, we call it the virtuous circle. Let's start from the point, wow, I don't see enough, from the more transparency and organization. So this is the first step in our opinion. We need, and we spoke about this a lot, we need more transparency and more organization in the color gemstone industry. With that, we can build more confidence and trust. We speak, for instance, about the people who buy from us, so the cutters and polishers, and the people that buy from them, the brands. We still see that a lot of brands are hesitating in investing importantly in color gemstones. But at the same time, we also see that there is an amazing opportunity, because diamonds are a little bit in a difficult situation. And so everybody is attracted to us. And at the same time, everybody wants to be reassured by many things. So more confidence and trust will create increased demand from the brands. This is a situation that we're living. More availability of color gemstones at the brand level will create more product. And more product will mean more investment from the brands on color gemstones. When I was working, it's a small parenthesis, when I was working at Harry Winston, we had a say, which was never invest in advertising on color gemstone pieces, because we don't know when we're gonna have another ruby or another sapphire, because we are not confident enough that we can launch big collections featuring color gemstones. So basically all the ads were based on diamonds. This is changing. And so more availability of color gemstones amongst across the jewelers will generate this will to invest more. And we start to see it. We see beautiful ads featuring beautiful products with color gemstones. That will also generate more education across amongst the consumers, because the brands will have to educate them, will have to explain them what are the color gemstones, where do they come from, and that starts to become really a circle, because we feel that will nurture increased demand for color gemstones, and we go on and we go on. So all that is possible with traceability. Traceability is basically what unites all these steps. And again, for a mining company is extremely important. How do we do that, and which role can we play being at the beginning of the supply chain? I'm going to talk about this a little bit later, but this, I just wanted to show you the provenance proof blockchain, and there's many platforms, and I'm not advertising for any of those. We have started to use provenance proof from the beginning, and basically today, 100% of our production is sold with provenance proof blockchain digital twins. We can insert every kind of information that we want. Today, it's very basic. It's number of stones, if it's parcels, it's carats, it's where it has been mined, when it has been mined, and then once we sell the stone, it goes on. But tomorrow, and I'm going to finish my presentation after on that, tomorrow we're going to be able to use this platform to integrate a lot more information. And one of the challenges, how do we ensure that the whole chain will take over this digital twin? And how do we ensure potentially that, as I said, there's many platforms, do they talk to each other? If a brand is using Aura blockchain and we use provenance proof, what happens in the middle? can provenance proof be transferred to Aura blockchain? So we are talking a lot with these blockchain providers to try and understand how we can all work together to find a solution that at the end makes life easy for everybody and not complicated, because that's not the objective. So with instruments such as the blockchain, we can really create consumer value throughout the chain. And basically from mining to cutting to retail and to consumers, we can keep adding information and basically create a narrative for the product, for the finished product, that will potentially enable the final consumer through, imagine, a QR code to retrace the story of the piece that he's just bought. That's interesting storytelling for him because it's genuine, it's true, and it adds value to the product that he bought. So, as I said, traceability is a way to build a narrative that feels intimate, feels meaningful, and that needs to be totally true, because that's the important thing. We need to base all these traceability stories on hard facts. Let me now tell you a little bit about Fura, just one slide, and how we use these elements in what we do. So Fura Gems, we are 1,200 people across, mining 250 square kilometers. We produce since our creation, which was seven years ago, over 100 million carats. We have 25 licenses across countries. We are active in 5 countries, 4 continents, and 4 mines. So we are a fairly young mining company that has been very well established over the years. Our mines span from Colombia to Mozambique and to Australia. And recently we have started an exploration project in Madagascar. Our products are the results of the mines. This is some of the images of our mines. We go from Colombia to Mozambique to Australia and finally to Madagascar. But they're also the results of Fura's people, these 1,200 people that work to extract the stones, to sort the stones. We have an amazing array of individuals. So 1,200 people means 1,200 stories. But that's not it. That's also the communities, and we spoke about communities yesterday and their importance. We have an impact with what we do, a huge impact over roughly 10,000 people that live in the communities surrounding our mines. Their stories become part of our gemstone stories as well. So, with that in mind, how do we bring this traceability to life? We are at the beginning of the chain, and what we own are the mine assets. So it's secured, it's licensed, that are guaranteed for the next 30 years. And as I said, we have Mozambique, Colombia, Australia, and the exploration in Madagascar. What do? We do responsible mining. So we have a very solid ESG policy in place. We have started the RJC certification 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, and it should be accomplished by the end of the summer. So this is a very important step for us. We have decided to take RJC across all the mines. It's a challenge, and we are seeing it every day, but we believe that given the increased scrutiny that we have from brands, that would be a solid base on which we can build the growth for the company. The product that we extract, emeralds, rubies, and sapphires, is basically what we sell. And we sell it after being graded in our facilities, and we sell it through tenders and not auctions. After the presentation of yesterday, I should have changed, but I couldn't change it, I'm sorry. So we have 6 auctions per year. Actually, it mentions 8 because our emerald auctions are held both in Bangkok and Bogota. So basically it makes 8 events per year. And up until that point, we use we use provenance proof to certify every step. So, as I said before, we insert the date of the extraction, the location of the extraction. We add images of the products that we have extracted. We are looking at integrating additional ESG data, and I'm going to talk about that in a few slides, although I don't have a lot of time. And when we sell at the auction, we then transfer with the goods the digital twin. Our job today is to ensure that our clients are willing, if it's easy, to take on this and to transfer it to the brands. What we see as well by interacting increasingly with the brands is that there's an increasing demand from them to have that kind of information. So thanks to that, the products become a repository of memories, meaning, and people. They're not just a stone, and that's fundamental for the storytelling that we want to build. So the future of marketing for us is basically, given the quantity of ESG data that we are collecting today, because we need to, because we are requested by the brand to provide those, is basically how do you use those individual dots that are all the ESG data that we have, and how do we connect them to create a meaningful narrative? Can we use those, because those are the hard facts that I was talking about, can we integrate them into our storytelling so that for our clients and for the brands, it will be much easier to use them? Because we know that, oh, sorry, there was a video, but it doesn't work. Basically, we know that clients are very demanding and they want to receive those kind of information. And they're ready to be loyal and follow their brands forever, but they are ready to dump them as well if they're not happy. So basically, with this increased storytelling, we think that we can go from responsibility to relevance, and basically to become relevant and to help them, to help the brands become relevant to all of their customers. That's it. It was fast. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure. And just one thing that I wanted to add, of course, as I said, we are at the beginning. We cannot do all of this by ourselves. We need to collaborate with GEM Labs. We need to collaborate with all of our clients, because all these pieces of information, they come from everybody. So for us, it was a great opportunity to be here, but we would love to keep discussing about this, because it's really a teamwork. Thank you.
Don't leave, because it's in an industry that is characterized by the fragmentation of very small artisanal miners. This is an example of a much larger approach to gemstone mining. So thank you very much indeed for the approach. The photo up, please.